This tutorial will show you how to manage the podcast area on your Unity responsive theme, or your responsive Unity theme, I should say. These instructions apply to all responsive Unity themes with a podcast content type in Drupal 7. For questions, please submit a support ticket at support.1h.com, or if you are in Basecamp working on a new site, please go ahead and post a new Basecamp message for your project team. And don't forget to watch any other helpful Unity-specific and general topic tutorials on Knowledge Base. To get started, of course, you'll want to be logged into your website. As I mentioned earlier, this is a more general tutorial for all responsive Unity themes that have access to the podcast content type. On certain themes, the podcasts are listed on the homepage in a block, but you should also have a podcast feed page. It's usually /podcast that all of your podcast items will feed to, creating an archive of all of the items that you have added to the site. You can usually link this podcast page in your main menu under a media tab or a similar tab, so that way your visitors have access to the full archive of items. To get started, you have two options if you're going to create or manage a podcast. If you want to create a podcast to appear on the homepage or on your podcast feed page, you'll want to go to Content, Add Content, and Podcast. Once here, you can go ahead and enter in a title. Let's go ahead and say new podcast item. We can put in a body if we want to. The body does not show up on the homepage, nor does the teaser show up on the actual feed page, but you can put in information if you want to let people know what this podcast is, if it is a Sunday lesson, if it is a special talk, if there's a guest speaker. Sometimes you can also, some people like to put in the transcripts of a lesson or a talk that they are posting the audio for, but again, you can put anything you want in here. I'm just going to say add content here. It's very basic, but it works. And then for your podcast item, this is where you'll want to upload a podcast file. You can go ahead and click Choose File, and then choose the podcast item that you want to add. Make sure that it is an MP3 format. It does tell you right down here that your file must be less than 256, and that you must use an MP3 format. Go ahead and upload. And depending upon how large of a file your upload is, that you're uploading, I should say, as well as your internet connection speed, it can vary on how long this upload can take, but usually it's not too very long. And once it's uploaded to the page, it will go ahead and let you know. Once the item has uploaded completely, which it'll show you right here, you can go ahead and save it. That'll show you the item. Again, the body appears at the top, so you'll be able to see this. You can download these items. You can also play them directly here on the page. And then again, this podcast item will show up at the top of your homepage listing. If you do have a block for your home podcast on your homepage, it should show up at the very top of this list. And then again, your title of the podcast item will show up, as well as the link and a media player for this podcast item. And then, of course, when you click on the View All Podcasts, that should show the newest item at the very top of the page, and then your oldest item will be at the very bottom of the page. If you have any questions, or if you have any issues with creating or managing your podcasts, go ahead and click the help button in the black admin menu, and that'll take you out to support.oneach.com, where you can submit a support ticket. You can also register your support site account, and you can peruse knowledge base for other helpful articles and tutorials. Again, if you have any questions, just let us know on support.oneach.com by submitting a support ticket, and our team is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.